When control slips, chaos rises. Fatu dominates Solo Sikoa. Post-match chaos takes over. Something dangerous awakens. Fatu destroys the numbers game. What happens when Fatu targets? Don't forget to hit that notification bell, like and subscribe for more interesting content like this one. So let's get to it then. What do you do when the man who's supposed to be controlled suddenly stops listening to anyone? And let me ask you this, when destruction looks that effortless, is it dominance, or is it something way more dangerous starting to wake up? Because what went down on SmackDown, that wasn't just another highlight reel moment. That felt like watching a storm realize it doesn't need permission to hit. So picture this. The dust hasn't even settled yet. You've still got echoes from that clash with Solo Sikoa ringing through the arena. And that alone? That already tells you everything you need to know. This wasn't some casual Friday night match. This was tension layered on top of history, layered on top of pride. And Jacob Fatu? He didn't just win. He took it. You ever watch someone fight like they're not trying to prove anything, but instead trying to end something? That's the vibe. No hesitation. No second guessing. Just pure, forward-moving chaos. And Solo, man, you could see it in the way he carried himself before the match even started. Calm, but not relaxed. Focused, but not comfortable. Like he knew this wasn't just another opponent stepping in the ring. Quick side note, be honest in the comments for a second, going into that match, who did you actually think was walking out standing? Don't switch up now, I'm watching you. Now back to it. The match hits, and right away, there's no feeling out process. None of that slow, technical back and forth. Nah. This was impact. Heavy, blunt, almost personal. Every strike felt like it had a message attached to it. And the crazy part? Jacob Fatu never looked rushed. That's what makes it uncomfortable to watch in the best way possible. He's moving with this weird kind of patience, like he already knows how the story ends, and he's just letting everyone else catch up. Meanwhile, Solo's doing everything right. Timing, power, presence, it's all there. But something's off. Not in his performance, but in the balance of it all. Because every time Solo builds momentum, Fatu just erases it. Not counters it. Not survives it. Erases it. And you start to realize something halfway through, this isn't about who's stronger. It's about who's more unhinged. And that's a dangerous game to play when you're in the ring with someone like Fatu. Then it happens. That shift. You know the one. Every great match has it, that moment where you can feel the energy flip, even before the move lands. The crowd picks up on it. The camera almost lingers a little longer. And boom. That's it. Solo goes down, and just like that, it's over. But here's where things get really interesting. Because the match ending? That wasn't the end. Not even close. If anything, that was the warning shot. Now pause for a second. If you're enjoying this breakdown, hit that like button. Seriously, it helps more than you think. And if you're new here, subscribe so you don't miss moments like this, because trust me, this story isn't slowing down anytime soon. Alright, so the bell rings. Match is done. In most cases, that's where things settle. Maybe a stare down, maybe a little post-match tension, and then we move on. Not tonight. Because Jacob Fatu doesn't leave. He lingers. And that's when you know something's about to go sideways. Out come the MFTs. And let's be real for a second, when groups like that step in after a match, it usually means one thing: numbers game. Control the situation. Reassert dominance. Clean up whatever just happened. Standard playbook, right? No build-up. No warning. Just impact. Fatu snaps into motion like a switch got flipped somewhere deep in his brain, and suddenly, it's not a post-match moment anymore, it's a demolition. And here's the wild part. It doesn't look difficult. That's the scary layer to all of this. He's not struggling. He's not fighting uphill. It's controlled chaos. Every move lands clean, every reaction from the MFTs looks like they just walked into something they didn't understand. And you can feel the crowd shift again, not just reacting, but realizing they're watching something that's getting out of hand fast. One goes down. Then another. And another. And there's this brief second where you expect anyone, to step in and stop it. But nobody does. Because who's actually going to step in front of that? Be honest. You wouldn't. I wouldn't. At that point, it's survival, not strategy. And Fatu? He's not even looking at them like opponents anymore. It's like he's clearing space. Like everything in his path is just in the way. And that raises a bigger question. If this is what happens when he's reacting, what happens when he starts targeting? Let that sit for a second. Because that's where this stops being just a highlight and starts becoming a problem. A real one. Now throw this into the bigger picture. You've got Solo Sikoa, who just got taken out in a match that already had weight behind it. Then immediately after, the backup plan, the numbers, the safety net gets wiped out like it never mattered. What does that tell you? It tells you control is slipping. And in a world like this, where everything is built on control, alliances, dominance, respect, that's not a small crack. That's the beginning of something breaking. And you can already hear the conversations starting. Who steps up next? Who even can? And more importantly, who's willing to risk finding out the hard way? Drop your answer in the comments. Who do you think can actually slow Jacob Fatu down right now? Not stop him, not outsmart him, just slow him down. Because at this point, that alone feels like a challenge. And here's the part nobody's really saying out loud yet. This doesn't feel like it's about winning matches anymore. It feels like something bigger is building. Like every move, every moment, is pushing toward a collision we haven't fully seen yet. And if you're paying attention, you can feel it getting closer. Now, before we wrap this up, if you've made it this far, I appreciate you. Seriously. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and tap the like button so more fans like you can find this. It keeps the conversation going. Because moments like this? They don't just disappear next week. They echo. And whatever's coming next, I don't think it's going to be quiet. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching.